See the resemblance? I had, I don't know if you call them an epiphany or, I'm always thinking, and I don't like the word struggle. I guess, when you want, I guess you get disappointed, right? When you want more, you have to do more. More is expected. And a lot of times we look for just answers, right? We want that magic word, that magic phrase. Oftentimes I look for they say when the student's ready, the teacher will appear. I don't know. Anyway, I was thinking, in a lot of success books, they talk about from rags to riches, how a lot of people have stories of how they had nothing. They were broke, and, that gave them drive. And it got me to thinking that, is that what has to happen? Do you have to be, completely down and out and living on the streets? I don't believe so. I believe those stories sell, so that's why they're told. I think there's a lot of people that probably exacerbate those stories, and they're not as bad as they seem. And I'm sure there's people that had success without being broke. The same thing with, when one door closes, another one opens. Does the door have to close for one to open? What's the other saying? Things are darkest before you see the light, or they get the worst before it gets better. And I'm like, does it really have to be that way? And of course, it's all perception, right? Because what's bad to me might not be bad to you. I've always thought that. It's like maybe somebody that's born into wealth, and then they have to, they don't lose everything, but they lose a lot of it, and then they have to get a job. And a lot of people are like, oh, wow, poor you. Well, in their eyes, that is bad. So you can almost always find somebody that's in worse shape than you are. But does that keep you from wanting? So I said, okay, do I manufacture a bottom? Do I say, okay, because I don't know, today some of the stuff I'm looking at, it's like, damn it, man, that's the bottom. It's not completely the bottom, but it's like, shit. But for me, it's like, okay, that's it. This is the bottom. I can't go any further down. I don't want to go any further down from where I'm at. So I got to push forward. And you just got to get going, right? You have to do whatever works for you. It's, as what I've been taught and what I'm trying to implement, and when I look at it, I feel like that's kind of where I'm failing. I'm looking at what is, and that's not really got me to where I'm at, because at that point I focused on what I wanted. I knew I wanted out of the job, and I had a plan. I had a process. I was going to slowly get out as the business moved forward. And I did that. So, I guess, what am I trying to say? I'm just, how do you start the journey of 1,000 miles with the first step, one step at a time? There's a saying that how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, but that's kind of gross. Who wants to eat an elephant? I don't know. That's kind of like kill two birds with one stone. I learned before that you could feed two birds with one seed. That's a better way to say it. Being a little more positive and upbeat instead of killing and eating birds and elephants. It's tough. It's tough. I hate to say it. It's tough. It's a struggle, but it's all in the mind, right? It's kind of like I came up with a morning diary, because that's one of the things that I learned to get the things you want. Write a diary in the morning, have a schedule, read your affirmations. And I'm like, why is that so hard for me to do? I'm like, that's not hard. It's just, it appears to be hard because it's not something I've done. So it's not a routine that I have down. And does it help to have someone to say, hey, you're falling off track? That's why there's coaches out there, business coaches, life coaches, trainers at the gym, because people know what to do, right? For the most part, and we know how to eat. We know to go to the gym and work out. But when we're going to go, we have to have somebody to push us and motivate us, and that's difficult sometimes. It's difficult to get that self-motivation, and it comes and goes. I see it. It happens to me. It happens to other people that I know. So I have a lot to do. I have a lot that I want. And sometimes you get bogged down because you feel like, where do you start? And that's why you have to, have that goal and make that plan. Just go one step at a time. And that's what I'm doing. I'm about to get started. I'm about to get it going. What do you do to get yourself motivated? Music, jumping jacks, get hyped up, get going. Because things happen, right? Things come up. Phone calls come up. Animals get sick. Kids get sick. Parents get sick. Cars break. Kind of takes you off your game. So when we do have that moment, we have to seize it. And be a conqueror like Caesar seized the moment. Meditate.